Welcome to part 46 of Pokemon Crystal, folks. So, we just got done defeating the Elite Four. All that is left is the champion. We just have the champion left, and then we're done with the game. Right? So, now, the champion. We've probably never met him before, right? I don't know. I mean, yeah, we've met him before. Twice, actually, if you count Pokemon Red. Yeah, Lance is the champion. I guess he got a promotion after Pokemon Red happened. Also, you're going to want to lead off the battle, I recommend, with a Pokemon with electric attacks. Not to spoil too much. I have a lot to talk about with Lance, because he's pretty fucking tough. So as we can obviously guess, he's going to use Dragon-type Pokemon. But because there's a limited number of Dragon types in Generation 2, he also has a bunch of other types, such as Gyarados. Now, his Gyarados is motherfucking fast, so I recommend paralyzing the bastard. Also, like all of his Pokemon know Hyper Beam, so you're just going to have to get used to that. That's going to be a constant. He's going to constantly be spamming Hyper Beam on you. I led off with Lantern because it's the obvious best choice. Gyarados has a 4 times weakness to lightning. You're going to want to try to paralyze it if you can, because of how fast it is. I swear to God, Gyarados usually isn't that fast. It's usually not as fast as this one is, but this one's super motherfucking fast for some reason. But, not very many lightning attacks, and it will go down very quickly. So the Gyarados isn't too bad as long as you know how to start. Holy shit, he's really sending out a Dragonite. Really, he's sending out his best Pokemon second. And as I mentioned, almost all of his Pokemon, except for maybe one, no Hyper Beam. So yeah, I knew Lantern wasn't gonna last. But now it's time for Delibird. It's time for the Santa Penguin to do its job. And indeed, it does a pretty fantastic job, I must say. Delibird is really fast. And because Ice is 4 times super effective against Dragonite, this is where Delibird's shining, folks. And all Ice Pokemon. Holy shit. 2 Icy wins. Not even the best Ice attack in the game took out a Dragonite from a subpar battling Pokemon such as Delibird. I don't understand people who think Dragon Pokemon are too overpowered. But this takes us to Charizard, a new addition to his team. Charizard's technically a dragon, but it's not really dragon type, and it never will be. Which is fine. I know a lot of people who hate that, but I couldn't care less personally. Anyway, his Charizard is fairly tough. The biggest thing that you can use to take out Charizard quickly is, honestly, Rock Slide. Rock-type attacks are 4 times super effective against Charizard. Now, because, honestly, Rock Pokemon aren't used that heavily in Generations 1 and 2 because of the fact that they're slow and they're so easy to take out, you're probably not going to have a Rock type. So, another obvious option that a lot of folks seem to think is the best way to go is Ice-type attacks, but I always have to remind people, Charizard's Fire-type / Flying-type. Ice is weak against Fire. And I'm wrong, all of his Pokemon know Hyper Beam. But Ice is not super effective against Fire, it's only super effective against Flying, so Ice is only going to do normal damage. What you're going to want to do is use Surf. I recommend Surf. Surf takes Charizard out so quickly. Honestly, his Charizard's probably the easiest of his Pokemon to take out. In complete and total honesty, I never found Charizard to be that threatening. It's kind of the stock to heal Pokemon. It's the midway point. But we took Charizard out. Huzzah. Delibird hit level 43. Awesome. Fuck, he has another one? Alright, well, same deal, except I think this one knows slightly different moves. Like, it's kind of like Claire and her Dragon Air. Ha! Holy shit, I just realized that rhymed. But all of Lance's Dragonites know different moves. They know different attacks for the most part, like some different. They all know Hyper Beam, I can vouch for that. Like I said, you're going to have to just get used to the fact that he's going to be Hyper Beaming you. On the upside, in this one, they actually added the charge time, because I don't believe that was actually in Generation 1. That's something that threw me off. But, yet another Dragonite! This is his toughest one by far. I think this is the one that knows Thunder, or Thunderbolt. This is the one that always seems to give me trouble. Obviously, it's level 50. Oh, and it knows Outrage, too. Really not a smart choice on his part. Outrage isn't going to hurt as bad as Hyper Beam. Although maybe this one doesn't know Hyper Beam. Even though that doesn't make sense since all his Pokemon know fucking Hyper Beam. But yeah, same strategy. Water Pokemon and Ice Pokemon. Ice Punch is your best fucking friend. And since it's a TM you can get as many of as you want, it makes Lance so fucking pathetic. Although he did take out Quagsire, so who am I to talk? But yeah, all you folks who hate Delibird, does it seem so bad now? It's going toe-to-toe with like 2 Dragonites now. It's kicking ass. I love Delibird. It's not a great Pokemon, but I don't see why it gets as much hate as it does. I don't understand it. That's just me, though. With that Dragonite down, we come to his Aerodactyl, who is a cheating fucker, by the way. Aerodactyl cannot learn Rock Slide. That is not a move Aerodactyl can actually learn. Lance's Aerodactyl is fucking hacked. He used a Game Shark. Anyway, though, Aerodactyl, it's fast, it hits hard, but otherwise, Ice and Water. Ice and Water are your best fucking friends for this battle. The only one that's going to throw a kink into this type setup is going to be Gyarados, and even then, if you have a Lantern, there you go. And yeah, folks, we defeated Lance. It's over. But it's an odd feeling. His sprite looks like he's digging the whole cape look a little too much, isn't it? I mean, look at the way he's holding. It's all I can think is, I'm Batman. Does anybody watching this ever... Well, I'm sure anyone watching this has seen it, but does anyone remember the episode from The Big Bang Theory where... God, I think Sheldon gets fucking drugged up and then he goes around saying, I'm Batman. I love that show. Anywho, though, enough about Big Bang Theory. We beat the Elite Four. We beat the champion. As Mary said, it's all over. We beat the game, folks. There is nothing left that I can show off. We beat the game. We beat it. We're done. It is just fantastic. We're fan-fucking-tastic. Crystal has defeated the Elite Four. She's become the champion. Somehow, even though there already was a champion who wasn't Lance, and I don't understand how this works. It makes no sense. But hey, I'm not going to complain. Let's interview the brand new champion. Well, sweet. Oh, wait. This isn't TV. It's for radio. Fuck this. Let's get out of here. Sure, I'll go with you, Lance. Oh, wait. We haven't done the interview. Why doesn't she just walk through the doors? Anyway, just like with Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, we get to register our Pokemon in the Hall of Fame. The only difference is that Professor Oak's not doing it this time, it's Lance. And yeah, I'm kind of at a loss for words, guys. We beat the game. He's gonna register our partners, register us and our Pokemon pals, our Pokemon partners, our Pokemon buddies into the Hall of Fame, and then that's it. We have finished Pokemon Crystal, folks. We have finished it. Can you feel the... I don't even know what the word I'm looking for is. What is the word I'm looking for? I mean, we got 8 badges. We beat the Elite Four. We beat Lance and became the champion somehow, even though Red became the champion 3 years ago. I'm at a loss for words, guys. Well, folks, it has indeed been pretty fan-fucking-tastic. This has been Pokemon Crystal, my favorite Pokemon game. The credits usually roll right here, but let's skip them. Why? Because I've been fucking lying. We are actually nowhere near the end of the game. We actually have about a third left of the game. We're only about 2/3 of the way done. There is stuff to do after we defeat the Elite Four. So after the credits and whatnot, it kicks us back to the title screen. If you load up your game, you start in Newbar Town outside your house. Your Pokemon fully healed, so let's go and talk to our mom. Fuck. Hello, Crystal? I have something here for you. Could you swing by my lab? See you later. Why can't he ever come to my house? I'm right next door. I just beat the Elite Four of the Pokemon League. I want to take a fucking nap. So I decided to store what money I earned from the Elite Four. A nice, decent chunk. Almost 30,000. I store 1750 or 17,500 because you need some walk around money, right? I mean, what happens if we want to go party or something? Oh, I play around with the decorations rather. And that's when I find out that doll that our mom bought us back when we were on our way to the Victory Road was the fucking Pikachu doll. Fuck that shit. I hate Pikachu. There's no way it's going up in place of Clefairy or Charmander. Anyway, though, we better swing by Professor Elm's lab and see what the hell he wants now. We already went and got him his stupid egg. We showed him Togepi. He gave us the Master Ball. I thought we were done with this bastard, but apparently not. So yeah, your eyes did not deceive you. We received an SS ticket for a boat that will take us to Kanto. But we've already been in Kanto. We went to the Elite Four. Yes, but if you paid attention while I was flying and showing the town map and everything, you'd notice that it still shows the squares for all the cities in Kanto. So, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get to go through all of the gyms in Kanto. That's right, we still have 8 more gyms to go through. 8 more gyms. We're going to get to see so many people we met back in Generation 1. We're going to get to see how they're doing now. What Kanto's like. It's going to be swell. Before we actually go, though, I'm actually going to do something else. See, I think I briefly mentioned breeding when right around the time we got to Goldenrod. I think I briefly mentioned how it works. I figured I'd go ahead and show you guys how exactly it works, and I'm going to breed a Pokemon for you guys. So, I didn't show me capturing this Pokemon, because I did it while I was grinding, after I lost to Koga in the Elite Four. Again, that's the only time I'm going to be grinding like that against wild Pokemon and whatnot, because I'm not going to need to for the rest of the game. But anyway, I went ahead and I caught a Doduo. And I didn't show that because I didn't want to spoil anything. Because, you know, if I showed me catching a Doduo, then why would I bother catching one if all we had left was the Elite Four? Anyway, though, Doduo at level 33 learns Drill Peck. This is going to be a very important thing. Also, you'll note that Doduo is male. This is, again, something important. I'm going to go to Blackthorn City before I begin the breeding process, though, because you're going to be putting it into the daycare, and in the daycare, it automatically overrides moves as it learns new ones, and that I don't like that. So, we're going to go to the Move Deleter. I don't think we've actually talked to him yet, but basically, he lets you remove any moves that your Pokemon knows, even HMs. If you fucked up and accidentally gave one of your Pokemon Cut, Blackthorn City's where you can get rid of it. So, I'm going to get rid of every move it knows, except for Drill Peck. Yes, I'm going to even get rid of Tri-Attack, even though Tri-Attack is pretty fucking awesome. The deleting process does take a little longer than I wish it would, but hey, you can't complain. At least they put this in here. Although, I do have to question, if they put the move deleter in here. Why do they make the HMs be permanently, like, permanent on the list? Like, you can't just naturally forget them. I don't understand it. It's just there to annoy the player, really, but whatever. Now that Doduo only knows Drill Peck, that is the only move that it knows, it is ready for breeding. So, who's Doduo gonna breed with? Well, folks, actually, one of my Pokemon that I've been using for a while, and that is Skarmory. We're going to take the Amulet Coin off of Skarmory because it doesn't need to be on it anymore. Now we have to fly to Goldenrod. Again, the breeding system's really, it can be really basic. I'm going to explain it to you in the most basic way possible. But it's actually really complicated if you get into all the little facets. Anywho, put simply though, because Skarmory is a female Pokemon, it needs to be with a male Pokemon to breed, naturally. Well, not naturally, I guess there could be gay Pokemon, but anyway. First you need a male Pokemon, and then you need a female Pokemon. They need to be breedable. You can find out which Pokemon can breed with one another on websites such as Cerebi.net or Bulbapedia. But because I caught a female Skarmory, which was actually not intentional at the time, I'm leaving it with the daycare couple, along with the Doduo that I caught while I was grinding, and that knows Drill Peck, because that Doduo's male. Now, why is it so important which one's male and which one's female? Well, because both male and female have an important role in the breeding process. The male Pokemon helps to determine any additional moves that it can learn, like, for example, Skarmory naturally cannot learn Drill Peck. You cannot learn Drill Peck by leveling up on Skarmory. In fact, the best flying move it will naturally learn is Peck. Drill Peck is the best flying attack. It has 80 power, and yeah, it's pretty badass. And since Doduo knows the move Drill Peck, this means that because it's on the male, that move will be transferred. This doesn't work with all moves. Not all moves are transferable, but again, you can check websites and whatnot, or experiments to find out for yourself. But anyway, and the reason it's so important that Skarmory is female is because what Pokemon comes out of the egg is dependent on the female. So, like, say I had a male Skarmory, but a female Doduo, and I tried doing the same thing that I'm doing now, I would get a female I wouldn't get a well, it could be female, but I'd get a Doduo instead of a Skarmory, and who the fuck knows what it would know. Anyway, I showed you guys the best place to move back and forth to hatch the egg. And this is our new baby Skarmory. Basically, once they breed and kick out an egg, you get it. I recommend going to Goldenrod. There's a certain path to the right where you can just go up and down, over and over again on the bicycle. It's right where I'm at right now. And that's honestly the fastest way to hatch eggs in Generation 2. So let's take a look at our new Skarmory. It's a male. Okay. But it knows Drill Peck. That was the big goal behind breeding. I figured it, rather than, just not explain it at all, I'd show you guys the breeding process. So now we have a new Skarmory all set for our trip into Kanto. Which, we'll be going to Kanto in Part 47. Stay tuned, guys. We still have a third to go.